This is the workshop agenda for the Dade County Board of Commissioners. It meets the first Thursday of each month, and welcome to the August 7th meeting here. We'll have approval of the agenda at this time. I do have something to add under SPLOST, and I need to ask y'all if there was an emergency repair done. Do y'all want to put that on here, or just consider that approved? I mean, we've already spent the money, but anyway. It was down at Wildwood, the culverts that happened. Y'all want to officially recognize it?
Yeah, I say let's officially.
Okay, all right. So
just so that.
So under 5, I think that B, we'll add culverts, tiles, due to flood, emergency repair. And also, C is a quote from Tyler Technology, and I'll explain that when we get there.
What technology?
It's Tyler, Tyler, and I'll explain more about that when we get there. It's, any other things? Anything to add to the agenda? I'm sorry, not things. Okay, hearing none, we'll add that to consent agenda as amended. We'll have the approval of the previous meeting minutes. Those were sent in advance for your review. Any questions or changes to those as presented? Okay. Hearing none, we'll add those to consent agenda for approval. Number 3 is the review of the personnel status report for the month. I don't think there was any major changes. I know there was one or two in the sheriff's office, and maybe one in 911. Have they been replaced yet, Alex? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a little change in the 911. Any questions about that? Hearing none, we'll add that to consent agenda for approval as presented. Number 4 is board appointments and proclamations. We have under that a proclamation for Purple Heart Day, and Purple Heart Day happens to be today. It's always the first Thursday of August. So anyway, and we do recognize all those in the past who, well, in current, have a Purple Heart. Your father had a Purple Heart.
He had 3.
At 3, that's right. And I remember him serving on the board, and we brought that up the first year. So, and we do have Purple Heart Memorial highways in Dade County, different places. I think one is located on I-59. So that again is recognized as today. We also have a proclamation recognizing August as National Emergency Management Awareness Month. And I didn't print in mine, but that's okay. It's because it's a Word document. So that's for the month. Again, recognition of National Emergency Management Awareness Month. And then we have a proclamation for National Senior Citizens Day in Dade County. So that will be coming up August 21st, and we are thankful and enriched by our seniors in Dade County, and we would also welcome any seniors to the Senior Center. They have great programs down there. Met with Lynn, who is over the entire program of all Northwest Georgia out of the Regional Commission recently. She gave me a great update. In fact, it was last Monday, and there's just a lot of things that's happening down there, and actually, I'll bring something up at the executive meeting every time, but anyway. So, August 21st. Any questions about any of those? All right, we'll add all of those under the consent agenda for approval. And then number 5 is the emergency management. I'll ask Alex, I guess, to come up about that. He's got something on the screen for us there. I believe he's got a grant approved.
Every year, we're awarded an emergency management preparedness grant through FEMA to GEMA back to us counties based off population that we received for several years, or every year that I've been here. We've been buying what we can with radios when we can, and this is a 50-50 match grant. And we just recently started moving towards the newer radios that is coming out to replace some of the obsolete. And we just ordered the first 3 with the sheriff's office for some of the portables, and this is to order 2 more under the emergency management EMPG grant. With our 50-50 match, it's almost $15,000, so it's a little bit more than the 50% for these radios that we have to match. It's 2 Apex N70 radios. They're getting more expensive, and a lot of the ones that showed Dr. Pullen them today when he come over to get some of those reports, and a lot of the older ones we're still using that we purchased in '08, and some of the other ones we purchased throughout, they get damaged. I think we sent 6 off last month to get repaired. A couple of them were under some warranties that we have bought in the past. So it's just part of our plans to slowly keep replacing as we go.
Okay, so what's the cost again?
16,000.
723.
16,723. That was quoted back in May. They're able to honor that. It ran out before the meeting, but they're able to honor that price.
Okay.
And they're considered top of the line.
As of right now, yes, sir. Yeah, this is the new generation radio, and we went through several. We're on our 3rd generation of radios since we've been in, well, actually probably more than that. But when we switched over to the 7-800 system, when Dade, Walker, Catoosa, and Whitfield, along with the other 7 counties in Tennessee, when we done this in '08. But we've got the first 3 in from the sheriff's office. They're up getting programmed now for that and be ready to go out. And I think they're going to keep those in administrations now, right now.
Okay, any questions?
The total's 16,000 something, but you got a 50-50 grant.
Yeah, we get $7,500 and something a year, and we have to match that 15, so, or that 50%, which is another 7,550, and we need just a little bit more, and usually we try to match that 50% either in through SPLOST. We have every year. We have to spend it. They send us the 50% of the EMPG grant back.
Right.
Also today, I'll let county executive know, every 5 years, we're redoing our local hazard mitigation planning grant. FEMA gives us money to hire a planner to update that as things changes, or we make advancements like our storm shelters we purchased and outdoor sirens, and we look at that every 5 years, and that's always been a federally funded grant, and we got application today or notification today of a $28,000 grant. So 21,000 is federally shared, and the 7,000 will be locally what we do, and that's usually where it is every year. So we will start planning with that next year. Be seeing public meetings, looking at what we got. Last 3 times we've done this, Dade, Walker, Catoosa, and Whitfield, we kind of use the same planner because we're in the region together, and it makes it a lot easier. And a lot of the ways we back each other up, and it helps with a lot of our planning. But things are changing in preparedness, so and a lot of new things that we were at our conference this year, but we was glad to get that grant to start preparing for that next year.
Okay. Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
All right. Don't go too far for the next thing, but anyway, I mean, we can talk about culverts next, but we'll add that to the consent agenda if no one has any problems with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's always good to have a grant. We've been fortunate with that EMPG grant. All right, the culverts and tiles. So we did have an emergency repair. I'm sorry I don't have anything in here, but I think Billy contacted each of y'all about this during the month. Happened about a month ago. We had a very heavy rain at Wildwood. The newly renovated fire department that we have was flooded, had about, 4 inches of water in it. Did some damage, but I think, it went down about as quick as it came up. And so anyway, they got it cleaned up. I think the fire department's okay overall. Outside of a little bit of sheetrock got damp, but anyway. Turned out it was a cloud burst. I mean, it poured at Sligo, but it really poured at Wildwood that afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon. And I'm sure they had at least 3 to 4 inches of rain in just a matter of probably 45 minutes or less. And so anytime there's that much rain, it doesn't matter what kind of culvert. It can be a perfectly good culvert. But we found out that we had a really badly damaged culvert. And it was not just a culvert, it was a series of man-made culverts / old gas tanks that had been cut in half / picnic tables and everything else that floated down in through there. And it was really badly stopped up. They went, Dane, I believe, one of our public works guys got down in there, and Billy too, but came in both sides from the state right-of-way off of Highway 11, where it filters into another branch. Came in that way. We had the state GDOT down there taking a look at it. GDOT has agreed that it's on their radar, whatever that means, who knows. But we went ahead, they recommended to proceed, the county do what they need to do. So the county did what they needed to do. State, we don't know what they'll do in time. Maybe they'll do a lot. Maybe they won't do anything. We don't know. Their side's pretty clear. It's old. It's an old box culvert, but it's pretty clear. And it's pretty large. The county side literally went straight, then it made a hard left turn, and then a hard right turn, and then another left turn. So for water to flow, it was already challenging under there. There was some access on private right away, but the people there, the bosses, allowed the county to go in and do that, and we tried to restore their property back as we found it, with as little as enhancement as we possibly could, but we did tear it up pretty bad. But they've been very pleased with how that turned out. Hopefully the 2 trees we had to dig up will live, but time will tell. And anyway, it came from behind the Wildwood Community Center across, and it took 4 very large culverts. And that started literally that afternoon, trying to figure out what was going on. On the next day, they were down there, and that following Monday, we were all there. And Billy, so they got it dug all up, got it replaced, and I know that like I said, I think he contacted all y'all about that, just so you're all on the same page. Bill was there quite a bit, since that was right in the heart of his district, and we appreciate that. So the cost of those tiles, I think, were right at $34,000. And then we had some contract work done there as well that was $10,130.88. I don't have the exact figure on the tiles, but it's close to $34,000. So the whole thing, I mean, we don't know exactly. They were there for days, and it was hot too. I mean, they were passing out hot that day. But we got it done without knowing the labor costs and stuff. It did equal right at about $50,000. I'm sure it's probably gonna be a little less than 50, but just wanted y'all to be aware of that. It would be advised to use SPLOST. It was capital outlay purchases, and so it only makes sense to use that. So y'all got any comment about that, Bill? You want to say anything about it? Or?
There's 170-something feet of 48-inch culvert, plus the bands that join it.
Yeah.
Plus digging it up, and it was junk that had been hauled in there, but we put it back right with the gravel, and it should be there from now on.
Yeah. What was the length again?
Pardon?
What was the length?
I think it's 178 feet.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any questions about it? I just wanted to make sure it got put in the minutes.
Yeah, I
Reason we brought
appreciate
it up.
that.
And we can do emergency repairs like that, especially, but it needed to be fixed because we didn't want it to flood anything else again. And it really got close to getting in the community center, the back of the post office there. It didn't, but it was close.
We got the venue next door.
It did get in the venue next door.
And two county roads were on each side of it.
Right.
Devolved. One of the firemen was wading through there and it was over his fire boots. That's how deep it was in the water.
I
Lee.
feel like that's happened before too.
It's been clogged up a while. There's no way it hasn't been. It's just we never had that much rain in like that quick. And so,
I don't recall when, but I feel like it's done that in the past
Okay.
few years or something.
so, any questions on that? All right, we'll add that to consent agenda for approval. And then Tyler Technology, we brought up. You want to hand those out? Gidget. So, Alex, come on up. We're going to bring y'all up to date on another matter that we've been experiencing. I don't know if I've got it. You got those on Gov Deals?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so as y'all recall, a couple of years ago, we partnered with Gov Deals and, I'm sorry, GovOS, not Gov Deals. Gov Deals is good people. Don't get off on Gov Deals. They make us a lot of money. So they're the ones that sell our surplus stuff. GovOS.
I know I got confused
Yeah,
for a
yeah, yeah,
moment.
sorry about that. GovOS. We partnered with GovOS to do two things for us. One was business license, and the other was for short-term rentals. We have a certificate of, I forgot what it's called, but it's where if you've got a short-term rental, you have to get a certificate for that. Well, we went through weeks, months, I'm talking about months of setting that up. And finally went live, I guess it was January 23 maybe. And it never caught on. They sold it from the standpoint that, people could log in and enter all their information. One person worked perfect, next person it wouldn't work at all. It was just hard. But the problem with it is their customer service was horrible, all right? And it started out strong, but I knew when we were at ACCG that May, and I saw the guy that sold it to us working for another company. And I thought, uh-oh, this can't be good. And sure enough, they went through a whole lot of employees. And so they've gone through, they've just gone through a lot. I don't know what they're going through, but it's beyond our problem. And our people that do the remittance through short-term rentals have fussed and complained, and they can't stand it. They're our citizens. They're the people that own these, and so we're listening to them. And as much work as we've put into it to make it work, we're for scrapping it because it's just not going to work. I mean, we've tried, and we can't get them to work with us. And then they came in and wanted to raise this contract amount, something like 20%. And they gave us the customer service that they've given us over the last 18 months. We were like, absolutely not. We're not dealing with it anymore. So, and then we also have a contract called OpenGov, and OpenGov bought out Cartograph. Now, Cartograph it's been around longer than Alex and I think. It's been around a long time. It's worked well. We've never really got the full use out of it that we could have, but we have benefited greatly since the tornadoes. We were able to put most of our road equipment,
People,
people,
trucks,
anytime we do
rocks,
anything.
culverts, everything. Everything in public works is in it.
Right.
Every road, everything is in it.
Yes.
And we can account for, it's the asset, it's one of the assets that we have, and we can
It
count.
is.
If we need to see when the road was mowed, it can tell you how many times that road was mowed over
Right.
years if it needed to be.
Now, you could ask Billy that, and he has paper to back that up. He had a paper copy, somewhere in a file that he could usually calculate those up and tell that person, we did this on that day. The computer was keeping up with all that stuff.
Yeah, we've been entering those work orders, the dispatchers enter those work orders, especially at night shift, since
Right.
probably 2008 or more.
Yeah,
It's just
I would
another,
say so.
another
At
task
least
that we try
10.
to help out.
So we've got 3 different agreements, and that one alone is like right at 10,000. GovOS is, for the short-term rental contract, okay, was 42,000, and then the business license one was 21,000. That's about $73,661. So now what we're going to get to is Tyler. Tyler, you remember a few months back, we approved Tyler Technology to be our new software, accounting software in the county. We've been using what's called Solomon for, well, I mean, over 20 years. But they had an end of life on that software from Microsoft. They just did away with it. And I mean, they didn't give us an option, they just, boom, it's gone. And so their replacement did not even include payroll. And we, at one time, I thought we wanted to outsource payroll, but we do I think we do a really good job with payroll and controlling it in-house. So we went with Tyler Technologies, and they do a whole lot more. They started out as one company, and then they added another company, and so slowly they've added payroll, they've added all the things that county governments do. They built a software around county government. We forced a county government, we forced a corporate software to run county government, okay? So it's a little opposite. Now, it's been fun. Rebecca says it ain't been no fun at all. She knows, and Patty knows in our office, they've been in meetings for months on Tyler. And it's doing well. It's just hard to go through a conversion, but we're there. And we are, using that for payroll and accounting, certain parts of our accounting programming, accounts payable, and I don't know if we got accounts receivable yet or not, but we're close. But as part of this, there's other things they offer, and that's what I'm gonna let Alex talk to us about.
So when GovOS was giving us issues, we started looking at other parties. Carrie and I and some others, we looked at iWorks, we looked at OpenGov that had a series of this as well when they bought Cartograph. We looked at that and we demoed all of them. A lot of governments use what that is, but we still had a critical piece, as Don had mentioned, accounts receivable. So as things are happening online, if somebody applies as we're moving forward with their electrical permits, or they're doing their business license and filling out the forms, or enforcements and things that will happen, the accounts receivable has to be manually input back into the accounting system. With the Tyler system that they presented to us, it will directly go into where where Rebecca has requested that this goes based on the departments and stuff. The other thing is the asset management side. Inside the first part there, you see the first section of the quote is financial management inventory. This is a link to our ERP Pro, but it does the inventory of all the supplies that is needed. It could be the inventory within Public Works, maintenance, the shop, filters, anything. It's all inventory that can be used. And if you drop down to this third blue line where the enterprise asset management, this is where all the work orders for all the county facilities, all the county roads, all the vehicles, et cetera, of everything that could be done. So you think of all the capital purchases and equipment that the county buys through SPLOST and fire and EMS and all, that can be capital asseted where she feels she needs to depreciate that, and we can look at what year it was out. And if we do maintenance on these, there's a maintenance involved with it, and you can look at that thing as well, like our air conditioners we're talking about in our facilities. We can pull, say, the court's facility, and we have all the numbers of the air conditioners. You can tie those work orders in with it and see what we've actually spent on those things over years. It's also got a requester in it. The guys are a lot of time inundated with calls from all the departments, something's going wrong. They have to either remember it or stop and write it down, but each department could send in a request through the Tyler system that would create the work order under facilities, report, anything. Light bulbs, toilet leaking, sink, anything that would go right to the guys. It would let them know by email or the app on their system. Then, if you go back up to the civic services, this was a big chunk of where it is, and it's kind of the big foundation of it all, but it has the GIS module that would show where the maps are, and we hope to start using this even to the point where when people are moving into our county and they request an address, we would do an address permit. The next thing they may need to do is come in and do their electrical permit, so we would tie back off the 911 permit. The little address would be there, do the electrical permit. When they call for their check, Stacy could see that and see that, it's had the 911 permit, it's had this, and then even further on, it's gonna help us streamline things so we know that's going on, or if a culvert is needed, Billy could put in a work order, or that can be done after Billy investigates and tells the people to come down here and buy the tile. The address, the tile, and all that is just gonna help tie it together. It also will do the mobile app. The mobile app will, each one of these folks inside the department will be able to see these and what's going on, and even online application to the civic access for all of our permits, building license, electrical permit, and as the permits of code enforcement comes with all the electrical, plumbing and all, it can be done like that straight through there once they're done. Some of the contractors can go through that. If they've got the permit and they're ready for the inspection, they can log right back in, say they're ready for inspection. It would let Stacy know to schedule his inspections as he's going. We also mentioned the business license, but also our short and long-term rentals. The big thing was the customer complaints that was received by Christina, Gidget, Don, Rebecca, Patty. All of them have been receiving from people on these business licenses. So that was a hard thing that we looked at when we asked these questions. How easy is it for the public to use and keep up with? It also will help in the point of that, then in the community development suite, as we look for planning, building inspections, code enforcement and all, it has that same things that as inspections are happening, it gives Stacy an option to be able to start putting his notes and things and citations. If he goes out and sees a timber issue, he can do the work order right there for a timber issue. If he's got a soil sedimentation issue, he can go right there, put it in. If it's just a verbal or it gets down to warnings, it's all right there at the hand of the workers. That's tied right back into it and gives us a system of it. And these first section we're talking about is what it would cost us on an annual fee. The next section at the bottom of page 1 and right to the Dade 2 is the analytics and reporting with executive insights. That's the reports that will be pulled out of all the civic services up top. And then the top of 2, the ERP EAM Insight is a bundle, is also the reports that would be tied in with asset managements of the facilities, roads, equipment, and everything. The enterprise forms and processing, this is the bundle forms that they have and operate that you they're in this business now, and if you want to customize it with your logos and got to fix it, there's a cost for them. So that's some of the standard common form sets that they will allow. So that come up to $64,489, which would be a yearly fee. And we went back with them pretty hard as we're already an ERP client and we're just barely halfway into that project. We are a Tyler Public Safety client as well, and they come back with that $16,122 discount for a total of $48,337, which would be our annually fee each year. And Don gave you that number that we currently have with those other 2, but this is also adding the asset management factor that we've never had. So we're getting more with saving some funds if we choose to do this. Then what you see below it is all the professional services. This is the executive insight implementation, project management for the hours of the project managers, on-site implementation if needed, and remote implementation. Rebecca can speak and Patty that there's been a lot of remote implementation of hour setting on Teams meetings or Zoom meetings as this works on and working right there and seeing things. That cost right there is just depending on how much time. That's just an estimated cost project. It could be less if we do all of our homework and we get it done and everybody gets what they need and we train ourselves to train others with it. So the overall for that estimated implementation is $113,920. And for the whole project is $162,287 for the first year. And if they do have to come on site, they estimated that it'd be $95.90 for $590 if they do come on site, but they don't feel they're gonna need to, as some of the work we're doing now we're able to do. But so we pulled the last few years of what we were paying with these other services and the frustrations we had, and that's where it is. And where I got into this was on the IT side, working with it, but we currently have been with ERP. So we always try to include IT with this to see, and it seems to be landing to me as the other guys are busy. But I think in theory with what we're seeing as the clerks and as we move forward, this is going to shore up a lot of manually inputting accounts receivable. But it's going to take some homework and time, and also get all of our assets of our facilities. We've already got our roads, then we start adding all the other equipment that we need. So they told us if we do have something that could happen this month, that we could be on the business license and the short and long term within 60 to 70 days. And then we'd implement the other after that. Because that's a concern as it's moving forward, and a concern with the office on the short and long-term rental. That's your hotel motel funds that's coming in.
So, there you have it.
But
And we got,
we
How
done our
much?
homework with 3 others, and it just
72,000?
kind of makes sense to stay with what we feel
yeah.
is working with our financial software.
So, I know you said it, but I want to make sure, because I know we've needed this for a while, is work orders it would be on a tablet, hopefully?
Yeah. The app or the mobile app is used by phone. Anybody that's got their county phone or a tablet can use it that's out here working, doing these things.
Yeah, so would it come, were you able to look at that at all?
Yeah,
and-
they
and see if
demoed it, yeah.
Does it, are they able to put it in some categories, or?
Just depends on which
Or
side you're
just-
in. If you're in
okay.
code enforcement or permits but like all the work orders for the facilities, if somebody goes on and requests a work order, there's calls here all the time with
Yeah.
potholes and stuff. Well, the ladies could just go on it, pull in get the road, address, pothole, save it, callback number, enter it, and it would let Billy and Dane know
Okay,
immediately.
and then with like Jared, with
Same thing. but
buildings?
We'd
okay.
have to build every building. We'd have, just like when we done every dump truck, every chainsaw, we know, because, the reason we do that, because FEMA cost codes.
Well,
but-
that's the biggest thing to me, because I
It's a
feel
lot
that
of
we
homework.
need that.
Yeah, we
really,
got a lot of
really bad.
homework to do, and we can also go back, and some of the files that he has now, we can go back and start putting stuff in. That's what we talked about doing whenever we got one, is what files that Jarrett remembers now, and Stacy, we could go back and start putting that stuff in.
Yeah.
So
on
what
roads.
would the transfer from canceling, or we have already canceled?
We've already canceled GovOS.
Okay, so there's no overlap or anything that we have to?
No, they wanted, their renewal is July 1st, and we're like,
No, okay.
Carrie went round and round with them. I mean,
Then she
literally.
gave them to me, and I just told them to us. And I
It
stopped.
seems like this does more. How does the total price compare to what we got that doesn't do as much?
Well, it's quite a bit, go ahead, Lou.
But it's a $25,000 savings over what we've
Yeah.
currently paid.
And we
Yearly-
don't
Yearly in
have,
our maintenance through all of our departments.
and we don't have right now is those work orders, which
Well,
have,
we don't have the asset management of the facilities now.
right,
We have the work orders in Public Works.
right.
We would be moving our Public Works division it is an asset management. When we started with Cartograph and OpenGov, we were trying to add the facility side, they called it. This includes it. They don't, Cartograph or OpenGov was trying to add us quite a bit more because
Right.
it's another module. And again, Tyler just seemed to have the better when we looked at the other two as well, and we just felt this was the best price. Plus, it's linked into our accounting system. It hopefully will take, once they get finished with accounts payable and accounting and general ledgers, accounts receivable will be a huge thing. This will take a big load off where that money is sitting there holding and held, and then they just push it on through.
Yeah,
As you
because the
look at all
system
your,
itself it'll pull from that straight into the accounting system.
Right.
Recorded where it should be, the department, the account, everything. While right now what we're doing is we're having to pull reports to show everything that's done and then manually going into Tyler and entering all those in.
and if you do a transposed number by
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
busy or
Yeah.
pick up a
Human error that
phone,
can happen.
you know,
Yeah.
there's always that human element that hits us, and this would help of what the fees are set when you start getting into your electrical fees. I mean, that's why if we started from the beginning, it also gives the prior department's history to look and see, oh, there's the address point. And it can build off the original address point if it needs to. And we will teach people when it's out, if you come back to get your electrical, give them this work order number, they can back it up and start the electrical permit. And then when they're ready, they just go back and say, hey, Stacy, we're ready, or Dade County, we're ready, and at dispatch station, he's ready to go.
So-
But there's gonna be some homework. It ain't gonna be fun, but
Yeah, yeah.
you gotta do this to make it a little better. Plus, when we were talking about the current assets that Rebecca has to keep up with, we can really hammer down on this, and that value will be part of her assets in ERP Pro.
Yeah, that inventory. So if we have that inventory, when they get rid of something or something sold or whatever, or obsolete, and they get rid of it, it will, when they get rid of it here, it'll pull directly over to that capital asset part and tell me then that I need to remove it.
An example
it
is
talks to
the
each
the
other.
new
Right.
vehicles that Tommy just got,
Right.
and the new fire trucks that's coming. All that stuff, when it comes in and runs through it, it will be added in inventory immediately. And then hopefully, we start doing our vehicle work orders, and it shows on that too. So hopefully that even the fire chief can look up his vehicle and say,
Sure.
this is what all's happened, this is how much we spent on it. And it's, there's a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of work too. We're gonna
There
need all,
always is.
ma'am,
There always is.
there is, yes.
So it does include code enforcement aspects.
Yes, it does have all the things for the zoning, building permits, inspections, and code enforcement.
Yeah, so that's something we don't even have that we've talked about, to be able to track better. All right. Okay, any further questions? Philip?
So are we asking to do this now? What are we asking here? And
Yeah,
what-
so right now, we have had to abandon, we either had to renew GovOS at a 20% higher rate or not. We did not do that because it
Okay.
just didn't make sense. So we don't even have software right now. We're just manually doing everything, which is,
So what we're spending now, are we spending $73,000 or we're
Yes.
spending 180-something thousand?
You're spending 73 on the current softwares we have, sorry.
So, to do this, is that what you're asking? So the implementation in the first year can be covered by SPOS, and that is.
No.
No, is that?
What were we previously
Previously,
spending?
73.
Okay, so we're looking at the $48,000
Yes,
number.
that's
Yes,
the
sir.
annual amount, 73 versus 48.
Now, are we
And
gonna
that's
have
a
to,
25,000 savings.
the other point of this is it's only gonna be as good as what we put into this system.
Exactly.
That is true.
Period.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be over it? Who's gonna be overseeing the work orders and all of that? Because, so does this involve, when we do this, does this involve hiring somebody else?
no. No, it's, as far as,
It'll be different people.
it will be different people. Right now, 911 operators at night have been entering in the stuff from the work orders. Billy will continue to have a paper work order. I mean, most likely. Even if we give him an iPad, he's still gonna do it. I'm hoping Dane will use the new system somewhat more, at least for research. But I would say we'll still continue to use 911 operators at night.
It is, and it gets down to the
enter
workers.
And that's the larger part of this. The maintenance will be done by Jared, primarily Jared. I mean, it could be different people. If it's accessible by phone or whatever, and they're out working, they can enter their time. We can track who they are, where they are, what they're doing. Last time they changed filters and what kind of filter it is and all that. And then it controls the inventories based on that. And then Stacy would control or input the information on any kind of code enforcement. So it would be three different people
And we would do.
that we already
and
have.
the address permit, it would start with us.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
911.
That's true.
So, because we get calls all the time, we have a manual paper. The dispatchers could go right in, fill out, we have an online submission on our website through Civic Plus. If that come through, we could attach it, do the basic information, and it'd be like when they come in for the electrical, they can almost see, or Christina teaching her when they come up to do their electrical. Usually I say, here's what you do, here's the card, go by the office or give them a call, they'll tell you what you need. A lot of times we're emailing, we have a simple form, an address verification form that's built in Civic Plus. We email everybody now, and that's what Rachel takes downstairs at the health department to know that it's been validated by Dade County. So if the work order's complete, hopefully we may be able to do it all in that, that's what I'm hoping. And then that's a step that you could take that one work order that by address. When the electrical permits comes up, she can see that it's there by giving that address, take that thing is what, we kind of had them play it out for us, that it's always done. And even to the point when they come up to get their electrical with the report or the permit from health department, we can scan it, put it right with the work order to finish out the report.
And then we should be able to run a report of the reports, right?
Well, how many's come in and what's going on?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I mean, we're doing a very hard manual system all the way through from the addressing. Now, we do dot it on GIS, and what's good, we've already got the GIS part in place with how we're picking up our 911 address, center lines, private drives, these new developments like Blackberry Ridge, the little development on there on 301. When they have 3 or more houses on the same drive, we have to call it a private road or private driveway. So we have to drive it, we put it in, and it would go right. Everybody will be seeing everything that we're putting in. Address points, the center lines, and everything, exactly what we have on CAD now. So we've already got that, and we've already got that in maintenance that is in 911 for our GIS services.
Because the goal is not to have any more additional employees to do
No.
it.
That's what,
It's to use
Well, a lot of that,
I
technology,
understand that, but
to use technology. Now, will they need an iPad if they don't, or whatever, tablet? They might need a tablet of some sort to.
and it's
Using a phone
Android
can
and
be
iPhone
challenging.
based as well. And, a lot of us in IT help manage these things too. That's kind of what, Daniel's got his specialties, I got a few of mine, Thomas helps with them too. We're always in the background making sure it's working and helping.
But right, there
for
is.
48,000, we can get what we were getting for 70-something.
More.
More.
Yeah, well, you
more.
actually get a whole nother monitor.
We didn't have the facility maintenance in the other
Right.
Or
ones.
the code
Which is
enforcement.
really
Oh, the code
important.
enforcement, yes, sir, there's 2 things we didn't have. Yes, sir, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy, really happy about that.
And we just got this yesterday, the final, we got a rough quote, and said, hey,
it
can
is.
you do a little better? We're already doing a lot with you now, what's the best? So this guy went to his upper boss and gave us a bigger discount.
I was gonna say, business license, short-term rental, that aspect of it will still be in our office with Christina. So,
Any other
Was that a
questions?
one-time discount? or
No, that's where to start at. They give us that discount for that 48, and then that's where we'll grow. Now, you can always, once we see the final contract, they always put their 2, 5, 7%, depending. But again, a lot of that, what you're seeing right there is this, when it says the SAS, SASS, that's the online servers, 24/7 support, updates, everything. That's what that 48's paying for.
I got you. Okay.
I'll say with the Tyler ERP Pro, the financial system we're going through now, I mean, it's been a tough process, but they've been really good with the training, with the conversion, with everything. We've had good people, and it's just
Is
very,
it getting
very.
easier, though?
Yes,
Okay.
but it's very time consuming right now because we're learning everything new. How do we pull this report? How do we get this information? Because it's
Yeah.
all just a little different.
I will say the reports,
Give us a year, and
we're on our 2nd year in the city moving to a financial, which was Edmonds, which is another one we looked at, but Tyler had a lot more capabilities, and last year was awful, the year before was awful, this year's a lot better. But when you're converting things, I wish we'd have never converted, just started from scratch and used the old system to look back on, because it is, Rebecca's, it's tough. It's tough, but we're liking ours. And I will say the reports that as directors get every month or every week when we're paying, I like the report. It's easier to read. I can look at it quickly, sign it, and give it back to Melissa to print the checks out of our department, so.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Oh, I will say on the, we loaned some equipment to the county, and the county's loaned equipment to us that we would do a lot of work down there for that tile. I think Dr. Pullen's seen me pretty muddy. Billy works me hard when I get in trouble. But we had to go over a water line and about an 8 or 9 foot fiber line to get that tile through, and we went down there with that hydraulic excavator, back truck. Philip's seen it uses too. So I think resources between our governments as we can share. We borrowed the lift several times to replace our lights at the 4 fields. We appreciate that, and I think that's a great thing that we can share these resources between us governments to get things done, so.
We appreciate,
Yeah, we
Yep.
appreciate that.
Yep.
we appreciate the mayor side of your
Well, the
house,
workers too, but it's.
And the
I mean,
workers.
Yes,
and all of Billy's workers. I'm telling you, they work
It was
hard.
definitely a joint venture,
Joint venture
joint venture.
to be announced on the state. We'll see what they get to.
Yeah.
But, all right, any other final questions on Tyler? All right, here now, we'll add that, and you'll get me a total here in a minute, I guess, so we'll figure that out. Add that to the consent agenda. Okay. Let's see, tab number 6, that's resolution R-30-25. Madam Clerk, would you like to talk about that?
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
sorry.
Well, this is a
Still have to do it.
resolution designating our county clerk to record minutes of executive sessions. We've had that kind of, it's listed vaguely in the enabling legislation, but I think ACCG attorneys like to see us just approve this, so it was done a long time ago when I was the clerk, and I think it was done prior for Larry. So any questions on that?
I got one. The means of recording, is it written or recorded
All right, where are we at?
on the recording the minutes in executive session?
I would
Does it
say
say that on here
written.
somewhere? Where is it?
Recording. In executive session, I got them.
Huh?
In executive session, I wrote them.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not a
don't
fan of
use the
recording
recorder.
anything personally,
Yeah,
because everything in executive session is subject to court. And so you can go to court over it. In fact, it's hard to get executive session minutes. But what do y'all think?
so does that need to be? Yeah,
Minutes, well, our attorney, tell us about
It
it.
doesn't have to be recorded, I mean, it could be, but it's not required.
Just written.
Are you talking about where it says recorded and approved? Or, I'm just trying to
No, I
figure out.
was just
These
reading
are
it.
cut-
Right here, it says designated county.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
But I don't know,
Titles, so
I don't think it was
written
meaning
minutes.
recording the minutes.
Not a
I think it's,
recording.
I'm recording the minutes as
Yeah, I think it's the word,
it's the way the words
yeah,
used.
right. Different verb.
That you're the recorder.
The
Yeah.
transcribing
One,
Yeah.
of the minutes, okay. Anyway, any other questions? All right, we'll add that to consent agenda for approval. Number 7 is Resolution R-31-25, and that is to reappoint the county's safety coordinator. She was the coordinator, and she still is, but, again, ACCG prefers to see us, anytime there's a majority change in the board composition, they'd like to see us do this. And it helps her locate it. She has to present this to the person that comes up and does the evaluations and stuff for the safety coordinator. That allows us to get certain grants and discounts through their insurance program. And so that is a reappointment of Mrs. Patty Murphy to the position of safety coordinator. Any questions? All right. And that consent agenda is approved.
We did ask Patty that she wanted to.
She
be
doesn't
here.
want it, but we didn't give her a choice.
I was
That's
supposed to
like
say,
asking some of her to be the
how many jobs
clerk
does
to the
poor
beer
Patty
board. She
have?
never really asked to be the clerk to the beer board, but she does a great job.
She does.
Elections, okay, number 8 is the elections building construction project. We did have 7 bids turned in today. we had a bid opening, and I say a bid opening, but it was request for proposals, so we'll get the wording right here, so the attorney doesn't get a little nervous on us. But we had 11 contractors come to the pre-bid conference back 6 weeks ago or more, I guess. This is for the elections building to be developed behind the Bank of Dade on Georgia Avenue, adjacent to the Trenton Ministry Center, and where the big hole is. If you've been over there and look down on the left, you'll see kind of a big hole. And so out of the 11, we had 7 today come, but one was deemed technically incapable, all right? I don't know how to put that. So they did not meet they did not follow the guidelines outlined in the RFP process, so therefore they were disqualified. The other 6 did come in. It's between, around, it's from 2.9 million to 3 point, let me write it down here anywhere. 3.4 million.
How much?
From the low was 2.9 all the way up to 3.4. So what we need to do now is evaluate each bid or each proposal to make sure there are no other technical defects. We don't think there are that we've noticed. And just to verify, go in to do due diligence on those contractors. They had to list their subs on certain processes that they'll use. And so we want to investigate the subs as well. We did have, most of those, I would let you know, came out of the Chattanooga area, one from Dade County and one from Canton. And so that's what happened. And I don't really want to get into much more than that at this time. We just want a little opportunity, a week or so, to investigate those deeply, and then allow the commissioners to come by and take a look, as you have time. We'll set aside some time to meet with y'all individually and go through those. And then if you would like to have a special call meeting later this month, or we just want to wait till September, we can, whatever y'all would like to do. But since it just happened today, I think that's where we are. But we do need to vet the references. We required each to have 5 references. It is it's a big project. So, the funds, and, it would take the better part of 9 months to a year, even if they started tomorrow. I mean, it's a big project. So, that's what happened.
Will the references be available to us?
Yes, they are.
To look through, okay.
Yeah, they included all that. And Alex assisted with that. And also, what was the guy's name? Our architect that we had hired to help draw the MEP plans and stuff.
Methods Architecture that actually stamped the drawings and done all the final
Right.
addendums that we had. He will help us go through that. And like I said, some of the 3 contractors or the subs we listed was for electrical, plumbing, and HVAC, which is a lot of your money. And some we knew, some we don't. The projects that they listed, we want to reference all those projects and see what their thoughts were with them. And several projects local here that we've seen, and it's a lot of the Chattanooga group that we've seen.
Right.
Sounds good.
I just still have memories of the library situation that happened. Although that wasn't our project, it was a mess. And so we don't want to see that. We don't want to even enter that, go down that road at all. So anyway, I was glad to have 6 different proposals. So it's awesome. Any other questions about that?
I appreciate you doing.
All right, number
Through
9.
all that.
Let's see, let me bring that book in here. But anyway, number 9 is we have in here an intergovernmental agreement between Dade County and the City of Trenton. Now, this is just a resolution that would approve an intergovernmental agreement. the county and the city has been working on this again for months. And Robin met with the city attorney, Ryan Ray, and that was a interesting meeting. They did great. They kind of tried to keep the rest of us on task during that meeting. But so we're working through that. I think most of the attorneys' questions have been answered. Robin presented a proposed one. Ryan took it. He presented his. Now they're just merging those ideas together. They've listened to the more commissioners, TDAC members, other folks, and we're trying to incorporate all this into that document. I don't think we have it here, did we?
We don't.
You want to talk anything about your meeting?
Just, I hope to have something for the commission to look at tonight, but I don't, and so it will be, Monday next week, I anticipate.
Okay, so there's nothing to vote on, of course. We don't, I'm not gonna ask y'all to vote on something you haven't seen. So, just letting you know, we'll have to table this. I mean, I know we tabled it last month, but that's just the way it is. We need to table it until we can get a more firm grip on it. And,
Well, I think we're in a good place and everything's moving well, I feel like.
right,
So
right.
this is an important agreement, so I'd like to see it done right.
Okay, so number 9 is, it says Code of Ordinances Modifications, Chapter 14. We also, it's really kind of two different items. I guess we should have separated it. I didn't catch that. But, so the resolution I'm sorry, 3225 would be the IGA. That is being developed still. Also, under this item number is the modifications to Chapter 14 of our current animal control ordinance. We are steps closer. We've taken the information attained at the last month's meeting, the prior month's meeting, and then Dr. Pullen met with Robin and I and Gidget. I can't remember, maybe that was it. And we went through 2 hours and 40 minutes, I believe, 2 hours and 42 minutes.
But who's counting?
Of questions, and so, again, a little bit closer. Robin has taken all those into account. I will say this, there was quite a bit of discussion at last month's meeting about, what was it, what do you call it, a leash, collars, tags, all right?
Dawn's obviously not
It's
a
all
dog
gone.
person.
All right, we're going to put, that is, it's now not a requirement, right? I said right. It's not a requirement. If you bring your puppy down there and you want it registered and tagged and chipped, you can do it. You can pay to have that done. Nobody's going to make everybody else do it, though. It's your dog, your cat. As long as it stays in your house, in your yard, we don't care, all right? I mean, that's where we are. And that's, so far, I think that's what we're trying to write it up that way. Robin's got it again. As soon as he gets that complete, he'll be sending that out just directly to all the commissioners. And let y'all take a look at it, but I would encourage you, please get back with him on both the IGA and the modifications to this ordinance. And so we can move that on down the road.
But if your dog gets away and gets caught, you need to be able to get the papers to prove it, right?
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, if I register mine and it's chipped and they can call me within a few hours, great. If they can't figure out whose dog they got, they'll keep it for a few days. So if we have this facility and you lost your dog, I'd start down there at least. Maybe go by and see if it's in jail and dog puppy jail and take a look. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't know what else to say. So, anybody got any questions about that? All right, that's where we are. It's tabled and tabled again. Number 10, I'm gonna let our county commissioner, Melissa Bradford.
Well, I just put
about
this
that.
back on here, I feel like it,
This is the nuisance ordinance, by
yeah,
the way.
I mean,
sorry.
I feel like the nuisance ordinance that was passed or the numbers that went through on election, is a huge, wide variety of things. So this, of what I'm speaking about, or like I said, Tommy and I and a few other people had worked on, it probably needs a name, and it needs a lot of work. Robin's got to go through it. It's something that I don't feel like that needs to be voted on anytime soon. I would love the public to pitch in, and I've had some really, really good calls and conversations about what people would like to see changed about it or liked about it. So it's not anything that I want to see go into effect tomorrow or anything like that. Obviously, the program that we just okayed would probably help because we'd have a officer to check those things out that can be flagged on there. So it's just something that I feel like, you know, what was it that was brought up? Sound or
Yes, noise.
noise. So, you know, that's another portion of it. That's not necessarily what I'm looking at, but, you know, there's just a lot of directions that we need to look into with this ordinance.
All right. Thank you. So we'll just wait.
Yeah, I
till
mean,
you,
I would like to hear, you know, people's
if you want to
input or the
have a public
commissioners.
hearing sometime, or maybe, what do you call it, a meeting in the community? Maybe a town hall meeting?
Yeah.
Maybe some of those would be good to hear some different perspective on it. The one that's in here is more or less, I don't know where it came from, but anyway, I do think this one kind of goes way too far. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just going to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I do
It
too.
is actually probably online. But this is not being proposed per se for Dade
No,
County.
no.
This is just some definitions and an idea.
Yeah, we just
From
took
what-
that from another county, another Georgia county that was very
Yeah.
similar to ours. So it's not anything that, Robin hasn't even, you know,
Yeah.
officially. And I agree too. I feel like it goes, as of right now, that if it went into effect, I'd be, you know, we have some cars on our property and
Yeah.
I'd have to get my stuff straight first, so.
We have a lot of folks that are proud of their antiques, and some of them like to display those antiques
They
at
sure
nearby
do.
locations for everybody to see. So anyway, I think the biggest thing I've ever heard on this, and at least working here, is noise. You got a noisy neighbor? Most people are so respectful in Dade County. Now, there's sometimes you get a short-term rental or something, and I'm not trying to throw short-term rentals under the bus, because there's a lot of good ones. But sometimes you bring people in from different parts of the country that they don't go to bed at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever, so they might get a little rowdy, and so the sheriff's office has had struggles with trying to enforce something that doesn't exist. It's Rod, I don't see him in here. Anyway, Tommy has brought up the fact that, you know, they get calls, people need something done about it, but if there's nothing on the books, they really can't do much. So that's the dilemma.
Yeah, and that's
Now-
kind of where I'm at too
You know.
with this, and my mountain is, not my mountain, but Lookout Mountain is probably, has more issues. You know, people have more problems than probably most of the county. I have calls once or twice a week on something pertaining to this.
Right.
So it's one of those things that, you know, it's not even, I feel like the whole county, so I don't know.
All right, okay. Anybody got anything else? All right, so we'll table that. And possible discussion on opioid settlement funds. So Joe, if you want to come up. Joe actually contacted me about this, and it's probably a good thing, is you heard last month from Bridge Health, came and made a presentation, and she alluded to seeking some funds for their program through our opioid. But one thing we all need to recall and remember is they have access to the regional funds. And I'm gonna ask him to talk about that briefly. I know and then also state funds. We don't have access to those funds, but as an organization, they do. And Joe, go ahead and talk to us.
So throughout the state, there's 3 pots of money. In essence, it's a local pot, which would rest here with this board. Regional, we file in the Region 1 Department of Behavioral Health, DBHDD. So that is one top, that's the whole 31 counties across the top part of the state of Georgia. There's a pot of money sitting there, and then when I say state money, I'm talking at the Commissioner Tanner and the commissioner that's over DBHCD at the Capitol. So there's 3 different pots of money coming in here. Our grant writer, when I say our, I'm talking about Hand Up Ministries. Our grant writer, he called me, and we're making application for regional money, which is the Region 1 north part of the state. And while he was making grant application, he was connected with a lady that works for DOAA, which is Georgia Department of Audits and Accounts. So she got to inquiring a little bit about what we offered, and, we kind of laid everything out and who all our help is available to. And she made an inquiry about the local money here. And he didn't know, how everything went, or, if we'd even got any local money. So, his response to her was, I don't know. So we got some material from DOAA, and which will be the people that come in and audit the money, where it's went to, who the money's been cut to. And then also have criteria for how the money can be spent, what services, products, transportation, whatever. When we was before this commission a year and a half ago, the question and the big concern was with Hand Up being faith-based. And there is several mentions throughout their material as far as what exactly they're going to be audited on that specifically says nonprofits, faith-based communities. So I just wanted to put that out there, that the lady was wondering if it had got spent, and he told her, I don't believe so. And when me and him talked on the phone, I said, I said it has been spent on Narcan, fentanyl gloves, and then I'm pretty sure y'all may have used that money for putting the little AED stations in every.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, which all falls within reason, but typically, to my knowledge, that's the only place that money's went. And that's, very little. I know I make purchases for the sheriff's office for the jail and roadside as far as fentanyl braided gloves. And then I assume Alex does too for the fire departments. And I know he headed up the little AED boxes in the county building, so. Yeah, oh yeah, my apologies. We buy all the Narcan out there for the deputies and the Narcan that we keep inside the jail and on their person. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I was just wanting to put that out there. I know, I've had 3 different people reach out to me. I would call it spring up companies that want to provide a service. It's no secret that, this opioid money is here. It's no secret, that it's the three pots of money. And, to me, it just feels like, you had a nonprofit on the ground doing the job for the last 9 years, and a phenomenal job, at that. The week of the 17th, I'll be going out to Athens, Clark County, at the Athens Sheriff's Office. They're having a conference out there, and they've asked me to speak to a hand up because, well, they come over here to see what we were doing. And it's so far out of the box, along with the success rate that we're having. 86, 87% success rate for any program is unheard of. So, it's growing, and, we're meeting a huge need, and, thank the Lord, we're very successful with it. Benefit, the kickback from that is, I would say it's probably the #1 program that helps cut down on some of the jail population. When the 152 jails in the state of Georgia are overpopulated and don't have enough staff, we're always about 60, 68%. Mental health is something totally different. It eats up our other space, that other 20 or 30% that we may have. But, on a drug end, a drug or addiction end, there is help for effective help for people that want it. So,
Yeah.
does anybody have any questions?
Well, I just want to say I appreciate Joe. He did approach me more or less to let us know about there's a state audit about to happen. And I think that's a good thing. That's just accountability on the state level. Initially with these funds, there's a lot of questions as to what you could use them for. And so they kept it very bland. I mean, we in county government appreciate or get used to, you can use it for this, this, and this. It's just like when COVID rolled around and those kind of monies came up, it was just wide open.
Right.
And we just don't see that very often. So that's kind of with opioid. I think when it happened, I think state government was somewhat surprised that it actually was happening, and so it happened so quick. I don't know that they had time to fiddle with it much. And so when they don't, the General Assembly that is, then all of a sudden, counties had the right to do this, do that, but they left it wide open. And so we just chose to do nothing because we thought, well, if we misspend the money or misappropriate it, we'll probably have to pay it back. And so the things we have done, the gloves, the Narcan, whatever, has been very within reason.
Yeah.
It's just been hard to clarify on the treatment-based type world and how far does that extend, But Joe is our representative to the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities Board. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
And so as such, we went about 10 years without a representative on that board. And so it's hard to find anybody, but Joe's been doing that. He has dealt with mental health a lot in our jail. And that's a whole nother story. There's state laws that need to be put in place there, but that's a bigger fight. And so he's trying to deal with it, but some of the mental health is results of opiate addiction.
Right.
And or just addiction. So go ahead, I'm gonna follow up with something else.
Well, we've spoke about it many, many times, and I recall last year, we discussed, I think in the meeting, maybe it was not in the meeting, but about doing some type of, which this is when we really didn't know what was going on, but some type of a grant or some type of a write-up that we could do. Was that ever discussed again?
So that was discussed, and actually I've talked to a few other folks from some other counties, and there's a mixture. I really believe that it is the county size, population size. So your larger counties with the higher populations are doing the board. They're forming together a board from different areas of the county, and everybody sits at the table. you make application to that board, and then it goes through that board to be spent. Medium to small size counties are, you know, putting it in front of their own commissioners.
Okay,
You know, so that is the main two ways as far as distribution,
so just as an example of, which I'm fine with, I mean, I think it's much needed. So it would just be, would you ask for a certain amount and then we'd go that route? Or what would you prefer that, how it was handled?
So I'm gonna
I mean,
check.
you are the expert right
Yeah,
now.
and I'm gonna change hats for just a second. I'm also sit on the board with the Hand Up Ministries. You know, this county is our heart. Absolutely, we're not standing in front of y'all saying, hey, we need 100% of that money, or we deserve whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's been provided for us, and, you know, us not having it, we've still made it happen. Money helps, when you're looking at, you know, 1.1 million budget, you know, a little bit of money helps here and there. But I feel like hung up between the sheriff's office and the budgets with the sheriff's office and a Hand Up and seeing that money there, you know, we could make application because if that's what y'all had preferred, there's everything in here from material to education to transportation to housing, in which we fit all of them categories. We've been providing these services for the last 8 years, way before this money ever come along or even was thought of. You know, we're not asking for 100%. Also, on the sheriff's office end, you know, me dealing with the budget on that side, I know that there is need on the county government end. You know, that was an unfunded mandate that putting the AED boxes on, and, you know, we're not about running out of Narcan to protect our officers or deputies. Latex gloves for days, you know, buying them. So I also see and know on the government side, you know, there's a huge need for, you know, to help the taxpayers out, you know, not foot the cost for that material. And eventually there probably will be some training offered, which, you know, we can pay for out of this on a government end. So, you know, we have specific needs. We're going after the regional money. I think 3 vehicles has been requested from the regional. It's looking like we're going to get it. We'll know for sure in November. But I know on that 3 vehicles, and we've made application over in Whitfield County. We had a house, and a school given to us that's been converted. So we're having to do some stuff to bring it up to codes. And then also here, a couple of our houses here, I hate to call it remodel, but it's, you know,
Sure.
fixing some structural issues and, you know, getting the place looking better. So, I mean, anything, if you want me or Rex, or me and Rex to present it to this board as far as, and let y'all know, hey, you know, we're not asking for an open check. If we're asking for money, here's where this money is gonna go.
Yeah.
I
Well,
have no
felt-
problem with accountability.
Yeah, I feel like if it was kind of in that way, of course, we'd have to come up with whatever that agreement is. But then if there was somebody else that wanted to come forward, which I don't know of any other groups really doing anything like this, they would at least have that opportunity. But, which I'm willing, you know, I've talked with you about this many times. I'm willing to work on any of that, and I'm definitely for it. And that money there is, and the more people that stays out of jail, the less we have to pay for. So, I'm definitely willing to work with you.
Yeah, Any other questions, Philip?
Thank you.
What I'd like to see is, I mean, we do need to come up with some kind of solution, because it's
Yeah.
just sitting there, and I sure don't want the state to say, well, you're not using it, so we'll just take it back. I don't know if they can even do that, but I don't know what they can do. So, is a grant application, us being the grant holder of the funds, and then you want to appoint a committee of members of the community, or
I
y'all want to
feel-
make the decision?
I feel like
or-
if
I
we,
mean, what-
if we started
well,
it would be best, you
Some
know,
kind
if
of
we,
direction, I'll be glad to help.
if we started it and seen that it was working, then at some point we could have a committee or,
At this point, I'd rather not have another committee, so
That's what
I
I'm
would rather us
saying.
hold it,
Amen.
look at it, and approve it or not approve it.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
And in Walker County, I've been in communication with them because we've got volunteers over there. And I've hit them up for local money as it pertains to services, that is being offered, over there on that side of Lookout. So, and
Yeah.
that's all it is, you know, they've requested me to make, send an email to the commission's office. And then, I'm still waiting here. I believe it's gonna go in front of that commission. Of course, it's not an astronomical amount. I think it's only like 2,000 or 3,000 for materials,
Yeah.
on that side.
Yeah, or, I don't know, we'd have to meet with Tommy, but I don't know if he would be willing, because he's not on the board of anything, but he could kind of vet and look at the applications and then turn it over to us, because we're not necessarily the experts in that field.
Yeah.
So,
If you know another county that you clearly find serving on this board, or even when you're talking to the state, and maybe pose that question from the, I was trying to say the pulpit, from the a podium, when you're there, and say, you know, I'd like to talk to you after this meeting. If you are, have a grant application or something that we can use, I mean, we'll take and make it our own, just so that we have a start. I mean, I
I'll
think
start
we're having, I
looking
think
too.
we're
And-
finding trouble
that
just
has been
how
the-
to start.
That has been the typical struggle, is because the state did not clearly
I know,
define
I know.
that. And, you know, so when they seen the regional boards and the state money at the Capitol come about, people began to see, okay, on the regional board, you got 12 members comprised of a sheriff but, you know, that's for 31 counties. So that's where I feel like your larger counties have duplicated what the state is doing in that manner. Your smaller counties are, you know, just make the request to Board of Commissioners. Let's not complicate it, you know, still have accountability and officially request, and just don't cut the check to
yeah,
thin air.
And we do have, Dade County does participate in what's called a drug court of Northwest Georgia, which is all the judicial circuit, our judicial circuit, Lookout Mountain Judicial Circuit. And so, as of that, we always tend to have one or two people from Dade County that's participating in that process, and they have a graduation, what is it called? Not drug court graduation, but it's where they usually have 5 to 10 members graduating, and it's quite a ceremony. And they have always invited every county commissioner from all of Northwest Georgia. They very rarely have one there. I went about this past spring, but I think it's quarterly, something like quarterly.
Yes.
They have these, so I would encourage you to go over there if you get a chance. It's usually in North Fayette, because it's just the central location for this, and participate and just listen to them. And they give their testimony as what they've been through, their families are there, and it's very encouraging.
So-
And they're success stories, but it takes money for those people to do the things they have to do. It's not easy what they have to do. It's quite a checklist.
So as a matter of fact, you know, I mentioned about me making requests for our volunteers. The same, 9 years ago, the same volunteers that was trained up here in Dade County, Trenton, for Hand Up and Celebrate Recovery. Them graduates from that training class is actually, a few of them are over there in drug court that is originated out of Dade County. So in essence, you know, we've actually had a hand in, helping out.
Right.
And without, you know, back then, drug court wasn't a hot thing for Dade County, but, you know,
Right.
we do have, a spillover, from what's happened over here and into drug court. So,
Right. So, anyway, all right, we
Well,
appreciate.
let's get together and talk, like, try to figure out some type of, application or,
Yes, ma'am.
of course, it'll have to, after we come up with something, it'll have to go through Robin and
Mm-hmm.
make sure that it's what it needs to be. But, yeah, I'd be more than happy to help.
Thank y'all for your time.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Joe, appreciate it. All right, Penny, you want to come on up real quick? We just want to see Penny at least once a year, walk all the way up here to the microphone. This is Resolution R-33-25. This is a Georgia Department of Transportation grant, Section 5311 for public transit. And occasionally, about every 2 to 3 years, they do a procurement policy update. You want to say anything about that?
All it is filling out the same form every 3 years, updating it to say Dade County. If anything changes, that's when you do the updates.
Right.
You just have to fill it out and send it back in.
This is the same document we approved 3 years ago, and I think there was literally one word in here that it changed, and I can't even remember. I think it might have been on page 24 of it, but I'm not sure, 5.5, but I couldn't even see what changed. It's something about methods of procurement. So anyway, they do need this as part of their policy, so is it okay to put that on the consent agenda and any discussion? All right, here you now, we'll add that consent agenda. Thank you, Penny. Appreciate it. And number 13, so it is millage rate time.
Gosh.
Yes, and we're gonna quickly go through this, I hope. So, there's a date, if you will, this is that thing that looks about like this, right? It's in your packet, and if you don't have one, we'll print you one, put it in your box. This contains the dates of all the different things that we've had to do as far as the approval of the 2025 County Property Digest. We had the budget hearings. This is different than budget. Budget's FY '26. We will be approving the millage rate process now. We are a month behind. It was not our fault. It was the House Bill 92 or 96 or whatever it was, plus the other one that passed last year. Caused so many changes to the rules and regulations pertaining to how to deal with the millage rate that all of Georgia got slowed down. So Angie promised to get it to us on Tuesday, or Monday night, Tuesday, didn't happen. Of course, little changes happen. They rolled all the Board of Assessors assessment notices that we know were mailed out back in June 20th. The 45-day process ended on August the 4th, which was just this past Monday. So they uploaded those changes and updates from the settled filed appeals to the original digest. There was a few changes made Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Tuesday at 5 o'clock, Wednesday, all day, and then even up until this morning. But they finally got a set of sheets to us. We call them consolidation sheets to the school board and to the county. And so those were issued through the tax commissioner, Angie Galloway's office, from the Board of Assessors office. This is verified information at this point. And did you go ahead and hand those out. So we now finally, literally at 4:45 today, was able to produce this. Now, this is extremely proposed, all right? It says proposed. It's very much a draft. Could be subject to change. We verified the numbers a couple of times, but we like to go over them backwards and forwards. And there you can see, just take a look at the top part of this is called an unincorporated. The middle section is incorporated. Real and personal properties listed there in 2024. You see we had a digest of 740 million in just real and personal property. It's now 782 million. So there was quite a bit of growth, which is a great thing. What is growth? Growth is where somebody adds something to their house, or you build a brand new house, and it wasn't on the digest the year before. That's what this is. You can see the different amount of growth there. And the state they're the ones that force us to put all these values in all these different fields. Motor vehicles did go down, but motor vehicles will continue to go down because as people pay the TAVT on cars through dealers buying new cars and get rid of their old cars, they're no longer paying ad valorem on those. So that will continue to drop. It's been dropping for years. It's down to 4.8 million. The mobile homes actually increased. I found that somewhat surprising. I don't know why, but anyway, I did.
Well,
So
they're in style.
they're in style. Get your double wide. 6.7 is, it went up from 6.3 to 6.7. Timber is increased in the unincorporated area, 770,000. That's usually a very low number, so I think that's probably pretty accurate. And then you see the gross digest, it says 794 million. And then exemptions, 236. So prior year, 231,000. Didn't go up a lot, and that's rare. It's rare to see the exemptions they did increase, but you can see from 2023 exemptions, they went from 202 to 231. 231 this year to 236, not a big, $5 million. That's surprising, I guess. I think that a lot of people thought, with the new freeze that was voted in place, they found out their property was already frozen. I mean, you could freeze it again, but there's really no need to, but you could. And so now I think a lot of other counties in Georgia, that was a big change in their value when the people start and it will continue to change in those counties because they never had a freeze before. So a little different in Dade County. So you take it on down, that net digest there is 558 million. That's what a mill is worth in the unincorporated area. Do the math down there at the bottom. The net digest in the incorporated area is worth 120,000. And so, it says 120 million, but you got to take off talk about millage. We take off the last three digits. So basically now a mill in Dade County, if you look at the very bottom where it says total county, total digest values are now 679,112,408. Take off the last three digits, one mill is worth 679,000. And so that's great. It was worth 633,000. And so anyway, less M&O taxes levied, 5.5 million. And then the net tax increase from last year was 368,000. And that is a net tax increase of 7.13%. You look at the millage rate up there, you remember a couple of months ago we had to do that estimated rollback rate, our estimated rate. And so our estimated rate was 7.75 last year, 7.75 this year. And then actually the city's rate, or the incorporated rate, I should say, went down a hair from 9.9625 to 9.9502. I don't know what the school board's doing. I don't even know if they've calculated theirs yet, but I do know they'll be doing that. So looking back over at the sheet, in order to meet the criteria to get Angie to stay, for her to be able to stay on target with the Department of Revenue, we try to get everything to her as early in September as possible. Try to get it to her before the end of August. This has been a real challenging year to do that, since typically we do all these meetings in July. And again, we're a month behind. But in order to accomplish this, we literally have to get advertisements to the paper tomorrow, because their deadline is usually at noon-ish. I'm looking at Lydia, please have mercy on us. Tomorrow, in order to get it in next Wednesday's paper. And so, because if you get it in next Wednesday's paper, then you have to wait 7 days by law to have your first public hearings. Our first public hearings then would be due or advertised on August the 20th. The advertisement would be in August 13th paper. That's advertised in the first and second public hearing, the 5-year history, which is what this is, and issue a press release, wait 7 days, and then our first public hearing would be on the 20th day, one at 11 a.m., one at 6 p.m. We have flexibility in that, I think. We have to check the law, make sure nothing changed. Sometimes you have to have one before noon, you have to have one after 6. And then 7 days later, we have to have the final public hearing at 4 p.m., or we've scheduled it at 4 p.m. on the 27th, a 4:30 special call meeting to consider adoption of the final millage rate. And then Wednesday, August 28th, it's not on here, well, yeah, it is. We will have that on Thursday at 10:30 a.m., a special call meeting to authorize tax collection of the school's millage rate. As you know, in Georgia, that county can't pass theirs, but they have to authorize the collection of theirs. So the tax commissioner collects their taxes for the school district. And so they could not or would not, whatever, have their meeting on August the 27th. And so they've asked if we could come up, have a meeting on the 28th. You know, technically only need 2 people there if we only have 3 people, or 3 people if we have 4 people there. So anyway, hopefully we can accommodate that meeting. Any questions on that? This is a lot, I know, but she calculated this at 4 o'clock today. And we really do we will go back through it and calculate it, but Rebecca does an awesome job, and I trust her numbers, so.
She does, yeah.
That's a lot. Any questions or at this point?
And I'll say
I
this is
see your
good.
calculator running down there. I'm making sure.
I ain't got no questions right now. no.
Okay, all right. So, I
That's
don't
good.
know, I mean, we can acknowledge it, we'll say consent agenda, but we'll just acknowledge it, that we've talked about it. There's no real need to vote on it. We're not approving it by any means, but we're just saying that this is what we will advertise. And we did stay at 7.75, so that is accepting some growth in the digest. Any questions?
Does that go on the consent agenda, or no?
I don't know, Robin, no.
Doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need to be, all right. So, any other business for the workshop? Hearing none, we'll take a 5-minute break, come back at 7:45. Thank you. Take a 5-minute recess. We'll call the meeting to order. The Dade County Board of Commissioners' regular monthly meeting is hereby called to order. At this time, I will ask our dear friend and pastor Wayne Moody to come up and provide our invocation tonight. He is the pastor of Trenton Methodist Church. So at this time, I'll ask everyone to rise, please.
Let's pray. Father, we come before you humbly tonight, Father, knowing that in all of our affairs here on earth, Lord, you always desire to be a part of it because you've created us. We're made in your image. Lord, help us to honor you, bring glory to your name in all of our activities. Father and God, help us to be blessed in these proceedings tonight. Those who are here to make decisions, who are part of those authorities, Lord, that are part of your purview. We ask that you bless them, give them guidance, give them wisdom. Father and God, bless this community, bless this county, bless the surrounding area. Father, we've already heard some things tonight of some things that are going on, not just in the county, but in the region, and opportunities that we have to be a blessing to others. Lord, I ask again, give guidance to each and every one. Father, bless their homes and families, and bless this place. In Jesus' name, amen.
Mr. Tommy Bradford, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Wayne. Do you want to say anything to us? Give us any words of wisdom? Okay, good. You want to hear those words of wisdom? Come this Sunday to the Methodist Church. What do y'all meet at 10 a.m.? Is it 10? 10 a.m. All right. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. This is the regular scheduled meeting of the Dade County Board of Commissioners, which takes place at the same time on the first Thursday of each month. Proper notice of this meeting was given in the legal organ of Dade County and has been posted in the hallway of the administrative building. At this time, I'll call the roll and have it recorded by the clerk. Dr. Pullen?
Present.
Mr. Hartline?
Present. Mr.
Woods is absent. Mrs. Bradford?
Present.
And the chair is present. We have a quorum and therefore a legal meeting. This time, do we have any citizens who would like to participate? I had no one sign up in the back, so we appreciate that. At this time, I'll call upon each commissioner to make a point of personal privilege. Dr. Pullen.
Thank you. It's been kind of busy again. Could I have my slide there? There we go. As of today, the paving on Hicks Hollow and Dave Brown Road was completed just right today. The Wildwood culvert was 170-something feet that was installed. We completed that. It crossed the county road and behind the post office, and the ditch was riprap. Next, please. I think I talked before about GDOT. Mike Cameron is in discussion with GDOT personnel in Atlanta about the 5924 project that starts in Dade County and goes 3-point-something miles, I believe, and goes into Chattanooga. I don't think there's any current GDOT plans, but he is following up with that, and we'll have more information later on. They got a letter. Next slide, please. Got a letter from a GDOT official about if you get on I-24 going north into Chattanooga, before you get to the state line, there's a railroad bridge there. And that has come to the attention of GDOT as being in a somewhat state of disrepair. And, that's on their item, but it may be like 2028 or 2027 before that comes up. But even with this other stuff and the federal money, it's not on their agenda. And, Mike will be involved with that also. And, the next slide. These are the 911 calls, and I'm happy to say that as of today, we're up quota-wise on the ambulance. I think all of them are all running, and so we're back rolling all together. It's been a struggle for a few months here. And EMS calls were mostly handled by Memorial. The Dade County EMS services handle some. Total of 237, and the Dade County Fire Department 1 and 4 continues to involve a lot of the calls. We have backup from different fire departments that go each way. Total of 236 calls. Not all of them are fire departments. Some of them, like the Dade County Public Works, Georgia Forestry Commission, handle trees across the road, things like that. And then the law enforcement calls, again, there's a little difference in how things are defined as a call, but total of 2,809, and the bottom line, E911 calls, it always amazes me. We had 9 new address requests for houses, and total for the year, 67 new houses being built in Dade County. And mine's pretty short, that's it.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Hartline.
We'll start with electrical inspections. We had 39 total for the month of July, 11 new constructions. We had 5 temporaries permits done, which is the start of 5 new homes. But we're running, we're staying in that 30 inspections a month just on, and all we inspect is the meter base. So all we're, when we go out, we're just looking at the meter base at this time. And then we'll go to the sports complex. They're mowing down there. We have started the storage soccer facility / concession stand. They got the footers poured. I hope to have blocks and stuff brought to the job site next week and get started laying them. We had to move a water main out of the way that would have been underneath the pad of that building. So hopefully next week, you'll start seeing them lay the block for that and have it done before winter gets here, I'm hoping for. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you so much. Commissioner Bradford.
Well, I'm kind of the same, short and simple. Been working with Kathy on some grants of recycling, different types of recycling. So hopefully we'll get some news about that by next month. Still working with getting glass to our county. It's happening, it's just taking some time. Hopefully we'll nail down a day to have a presentation about that. And I just want to mention, it's the yard sale time, and Lookout Mountain is slow. So be patient with people, watch out. People pulling in and out of driveways. I dealt with it 2 different times today, so be patient. It's just a couple days out of the year. And also, I guess I'm going to pull a Robert Golf. Tomorrow is the first football game for Dade County Wolverines, and it's going to be at Finley Stadium. So that's kind of a different thing that we've done, and should be exciting and fun. So come and support your Wolverines in Chattanooga and get something to eat and cheer your boys on.
Wow,
And
that's
all.
great.
Yeah.
News,
And
I
my
didn't even
son's
know that.
11.
How?
He's number
Oh,
11.
he's number 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, he's tall for 11.
Yeah.
But he's not, okay, number 11. All right, so, first day of school, sounds like it went well today. You know, traffic on the first day of school and the first week of school can be a nightmare. But we're thankful that everything went well for those folks and the students and teachers. Saw them on the news this morning early in Dade County, so that was good news to have them down here, welcoming our students back. So welcome back, students. It'll be fall break before you know it. And, got the first slide. You can just go through those as I talk. Had a meeting with the Hand Up Ministry and Georgia Recovers. Georgia Recovery bus will be coming through September the 8th at 3 p.m. So if you'd like to support that, just be over there near the Hope House Cafe. It's September 8th at 3 p.m. For the Hand Up Ministry. They support the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities and the Georgia Council for Recovery. This bus is visiting 60 communities across Georgia during their National Recovery Month. So we support that and hopefully encourage you to go by and see that. As stated earlier, we talked a lot about the Wildwood Culvert. That's my old stomping grounds across the street from where I used to live. And so I'm glad to have that done. I just want to say thank you to Billy one more time and his guys. Billy would not take the credit. He would give all the credit to his men who worked diligently. I know one night Billy called me, and I thought, good grief, if Billy's calling after 9, somebody must have died. But he wasn't. He was just going home about 9:30 that night, and it was one of those days where it was like 113 or something, 111 heat index. It was a very hot day. So I appreciate all their long hours and that emergency repair for those tiles that stretched across from the Wildwood Community Center to Highway 11. Also, Senior Center Site Council election took place last Friday. They invited, I think it was last Friday. I don't know, I've lost count. It was last week, and went down and participated with that. Actually, it was last Thursday morning, and was able to help them count their votes. So they have a new president, a new vice president, treasurer, and I think they maintain their secretary. So they have what's called a site council there, made up of the seniors, and excited to be there and help them out with that. If you have a chance, Bob's not here, but we always want to brag on our seniors at the Senior Center. Please get by and check out some of the activities, and they also provide you a meal. And if you can't get around to get there, transportation will come pick you up. So you call Penny, call down to the Public Transportation Office, and they will come and pick you up. We had the GIC board meeting, and you're saying, what in the world's a GIC board? GIC board is our Georgia Initiative for Community Housing, and we are developing a community plan customized, of course, by our locals. And who are those locals? Well, we had Alex Case, April Keith, City Clerk Don Townsend, that's me, by the way, Evan Stone, Executive Director for the Economic Development Gidget, our County Clerk, Gretchen Lukehart, Senior Planner at Northwest Georgia Regional Commission, Kathy Reagan, our Grant Writer, Kristen Barrett, with Board Member and Family Connection, Kristen Barrett's the School Social Worker, sorry about that. Laura Beth Cunningham, 4-H Administrator for UGA Extension Office, Nicole Blevins, down at Blevins Construction, Sandy White, President CEO of Alliance for Dade, Seth Houts, Vice President of the Bank of Dade, and member of the IDA, Stacy Stevens, Code Enforcement, Dade County, Will Garrett, business owner, and then I think Rex Mayo and Wesley Bethune are also on that board. I just want to say appreciate their efforts. They came out, and it was a very successful meeting. We limited that to about an hour and a half, and appreciate them attending. We are targeting affordable housing in Dade County, just trying to help with infrastructure readiness and strategic redevelopment. So that's a lot of words to say. We need some more housing, and we're working on it. It's just going to take a while, but we are working on that. Appreciate Philip taking care of this concession stand and storage building at the parks. That is going very well, and him and Tank, and they've been down there. And again, it was hot last week too, I can tell you. And then we had plenty of rain to fall on it, but hey, they're getting it done, appreciate that. And in addition to that, there is a new sign that's being installed. Penny's smiling because it started under Annette Cash. It's taken this long to finally get this thing, but it's here.
Really?
Hey, really, it's finally happening.
That
Robert
makes me
Goff
so
won't believe
happy.
it till it's standing and owned.
I
He's been
know.
after it for about 5 years, and so we're excited about that. We hope to have the footers and all that poured soon, and the contract has been let on that. So it's with the about 60 days, we estimate we'll hopefully have that thing erected. And it's going to promote our sports complex, senior center, and our public transportation. So we appreciate Penny and Annette and all the folks down there that help us with the grant funding on that capital asset. So appreciate that. Groundbreaking for the Idleville Apartments at 9930 Highway 11 South here at Trenton happened this past Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. We broke ground on 24 new quality workforce housing. Long-term housing's about $1,200 to $1,600 a month. It's high. I mean, it's not high. It's what it is these days. I mean, you know, for rent, but it'd be brand new. So looking forward to that. Maybe check that out here in the early part of the year, and maybe they'll be up and running. And then he has an additional 20 acres there that can be expanded to, hopefully in time. 1945 Day Fair was very successful. We appreciate everybody that helped with that, supported that, and came out to that. Exile was the band that night, had a great fireworks show following, and celebrated our 80th year of coming back into the Union from the independent state of Dade. So that was a fun day, had by all, appreciate that. Dade Elementary had a back-to-school bash, appreciate Gidget and Carrie for attending that and manning the Dade County table. Don slept in that day. I apologize. I'm just being honest. But Gidget was there for her church, but she stepped over and helped man the booth. And so we appreciate that. And there's a lot of pictures there. Go online and see if you can find your face on some of those pictures. And then yesterday I had a meeting with the Department of Economic Development, a panel appointed by the governor of the state. And that happened over at Macklemore. At Cloudland at Macklemore Resort on Lookout Mountain, and we were happy to report we're seeing our industrial partners continue to grow. Monetary investments are up. We anticipate somewhere around $45 million in investments of our current partners that are in the industrial sites down here of expansion, and that's going to. They predict anywhere between 300 to 500 new jobs over the next 5 years. It doesn't happen overnight, but believe it or not, Trenton Pressing, to be exact, is already talking about quite an expansion. They've got a lot of new business. Is it because tariffs? I have no idea, but it seems to be working in Dade County. They're wanting to build stuff and create stuff and manufacture stuff here in Dade County and ship it around the world. So we're excited about that. Have a renewed initiative in affordable housing and our workforce housing. Again, talked about that, and just bragged a little bit on our partnerships with the chamber and different folks. And so we're excited just to meet some of these people. Appreciate Mike Cameron and for being there as well during that last night. And I think that's it for the executive update. Any questions or anything else anybody's got to comment? All right, hearing none. Under appearances, we have Mrs. Laura Beth Cunningham, 4-H agent, UG Extension. So come on up, Laura Beth. While you're coming, I want to mention the Optimist Club Golf Tournament is it this Saturday? Next Saturday, August the 16th at 9 a.m. at Trenton Golf Club. Make sure you come on down. This Saturday's the art show. Yeah, this Saturday, though, is the art show at the Dade County High School. So come out for that. Laura Beth.
You can ask my husband,
borrow mine?
Well, I'm gonna grab this one from Rebecca, she'll cry over it, but. There we go. I know you do. I'll try this one.
I know, I was about to say, you're quiet anyway.
Come on, hold that mic like you're gonna sing karaoke tonight. Let's hear it.
I'm trying, Alex. Thank you for your patience.
Is it turned on?
It is on.
Okay.
Is it on? Yes,
Yep.
it's on.
Yes.
I could hear you now.
Well, we were very busy 4-H in July too. We started out the first week at Tybee Island. It wasn't too hot down there that time, but we had fun. I took the most clover leaves that I have taken since I was here. So I had a van full for the first time. It was a loud trip down there, but they were so tired on the way home, they were sleeping in the floor. So it was really quiet, and I had a volunteer go with me. Cody Dole went with me, and even he slept on the way home too. So it was a very quiet trip home, but they all had a good time, and it was fun. So I went to Jekyll for senior camp. I only took 2 kids with me, but I definitely found out that I liked senior camp. It's a little bit more laid back, and I don't have to micromanage the kids, so I did like senior camp pretty well. So that was fun. I did chicken camp again. I didn't do it last year, and I got so many complaints that I didn't do a chicken camp, so I did one this year. So we always talk about chicks, and I always hatch some chicks off. But I actually had a lot of kids ask me because I brought more eggs that had different colors in the shell, because different chickens lay different colored eggs, and they were fascinated about how chickens lay different colored eggs. So we talked a lot about that this time, and then so they were fascinated about different chicks coming from different colored eggs. I took the kids to Pirates Bay Water Park over in Leesburg, Alabama. That was a big hit, so I think we'll probably do that again next year. I did take Carrie's son as a teen leader. He did sleep half of the day in a lawn chair. So I'm not sure.
And loved the trip.
Yeah, he thought it was a good time, but he did sleep half of the day in a lawn chair. Those kids wore him out, but that was a good time. Kerrigan and I had a really successful trip down to Atlanta a couple of weeks ago for state congress. I was so proud to take somebody to state congress. I think it had been 26 years since Dade County had taken anybody to state congress. We had 0 expectations of her winning, and she didn't win, but she did so good. I mean, when you go to state congress, it is a whole different level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable to listen to. You would never think these were high school kids that are doing this, but she did really good.
What are they doing?
So this is like project achievement, like
Okay.
way this level. This is like,
Wow.
you would think they were all college kids, giving these crazy speeches. But she did really good, and it really motivated her that like she's going to do so much better next year
yeah.
just by like seeing the competition. And she's really determined to try to get some other kids more interested in doing this, and I'm pretty sure she's going to try to talk Atticus into it.
Oh, he's already doing it. They're planning it.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. They'll both sleep next year.
No, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. Like they really, do a lot of stuff with these kids. Like if you get to go to this, they really reward them. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm so proud of her for making it to something at this level. So it was a good time. This is one of the hikes that we went on to. It was supposed to be 4.2 miles. I took a wrong turn. I'll be honest, it was totally my fault. It was 11.3 miles. Let me just tell you, this brought me back to Jean Durden days. It took me 4 days to walk again.
Wow.
But these two kids right here are troopers, and they honestly didn't complain. And I'm calling Caroline. I'm like, okay, we started out at Craven's house on top of Lookout Mountain.
Oh, I've
She
done that
picked us up at Reflections Ridge riding, and then drove us back to the truck. But it's okay.
It's
you
an
know,
easy mistake.
Yeah.
It is.
But we
truly.
made it, and yeah, it's okay. They were totally cool with it.
You're
I
not
was
ready
the
to
one
go.
that was like, okay, I'm really tired. But it was good. It's okay. I took them to a movie to reward them for not complaining and being totally good with it. We are going to have our homeschoolers meeting on August 20th at 1 p.m. We're going to talk about the state of Iowa and how they grow a lot of corn there. The Ag Adventures at the library is going to be August 12th, and we're going to read Miss McDonald Has a Farm. And then I'm sure that Miss Lynn is going to have some cool craft for them to do because she is so good at thinking up really good crafts. The Tri-State Beekeepers Association meeting is going to be August 18th at 7 at our Ag Center. And then the Tri-State Cattlemen's meeting will be the next day on the 19th. It's going to be at Dade. And Wesley Porter, he is the UGA, he is not the reproductive specialist. That is totally a typo on my part. That was the last meeting. He is actually their Ag IT guy. He does a lot of the technology stuff, and he is going to zoom in and do like a IT tractor, all kinds of cool stuff. He's going to zoom in and do it. Ag technology, so that was a typo on my.
Tractors and UGA reproductive, whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't. That was Dr. Fuentes
I got you. All right.
last month at Walker County.
Ah.
But Dr. Porter does ag technology.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Attica says you deserve a medal. You worked with some of those kids and they're robust. He
Oh,
said-
they
he
can
said,
be.
Miss Cunningham is amazing. She needs a medal.
They can be. They can be.
Hey, Carrie, they may need that mic again, or y'all can come get the mic, whatever. Also, just be aware, online presentations are available by Mrs. Sandy White, President, CEO of Alliance, for Dade, which is the Chamber of Commerce report, and also an online presentation is available by Ms. Lydia Sosi, Manager of the Dade County Public Library. So if you're interested in those, just go on our website and you'll find that information. All right, I'll now ask Mrs. Rebecca Jones, CFO, to provide the county financial report.
Okay, the first page you'll see is the account balances as of July 31st, 2025. The next two pages are the income statement as of June 30th, 2025, which is the close of our fiscal year. Revenues, year-to-date actuals were $15,390,232. Year-to-date budget is $15,322,000. We were actually in excess of our budget of $68,232. Expenses, year-to-date actuals, $15,332,701. Year-to-date budget, $15,332,000. So we're actually over budget by $10,701,000. We'll have another month that we'll collect, if anything's collected or expense that needs to post back, we'll post back, and then we'll present a budget amendment for that next meeting. The next 4 pages shows the loss and splosh trends since 2010. Lost for July 2025 was $289,984. Splosh for July, $362,481. The next several pages that you have there goes over the 2015 and 2021 splosh detail. And your very last page there are year-to-date tax collections for the Tax Commissioner's Office. The percentage collected as of June 30th, 2025 was at 103.63%. And that concludes the report.
All right, are there any questions pertaining to the report? Hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the financial report as presented by Mrs. Jones.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. I'll now poll each commissioner and have their vote recorded. Dr. Pullen?
Yes.
Mr. Hartline?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. Motion is passed unanimously. Legal matters, Mr. Robin Rogers, our county attorney. Mr. Rogers, do we have any legal matters to discuss at the board meeting tonight?
Nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
All right, let's see, is there any unfinished business to discuss or vote upon? Hearing none, under new business, the reading of the minutes of the last month's regular meeting and special call meetings will not be required since all commissioners have been furnished copies in advance. The minutes are public record and available for review in the county commission office. The minutes are included in the consent agenda and will be considered for approval under new business. I will now ask the county clerk to read aloud the items for consideration on the consent agenda, please.
Okay, approval of the amended agenda, adding 5B and 5C, approval of previous meeting minutes, review of the personnel status report, proclamation Purple Heart Day, August 7th, 2025, proclamation recognizing August as National Emergency Management Awareness Month, proclamation National Senior Citizens Day, which is August 21st, 2025, Emergency Management EMPG grant match for radios, 2 Apex N70EX portable radios for $16,723.98. The culverts, the tiles due to the flooding in Wildwood, the emergency repair. And also Tyler Technologies contract for $162,287,000. Resolution R-30-25, designated county clerk to record the minutes of the executive sessions. Resolution R-31-25 to reappoint County Safety Coordinator Patty Murphy. And Resolution R-33-25, GDOT Grant Section 5311, Public Transit Procurement Policy Update.
Okay, is there any discussion regarding the items listed on the consent agenda as presented by the clerk? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented by Mrs. Knight.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. I will now poll each commissioner to have their vote recorded. Dr. Pullen?
Yes.
Mr. Hartline?
Yes.
Mrs. Bradford?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Motion is passed by unanimous consent. Executive session, I hope there's not a need for one. It's late. All right, hearing none, we will exit. We need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, do I hear a motion? Oh, yeah, you did it. We're
I'll
adjourned.
second.
Thank you very much for attending.